are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Jerlyn Denny.
Good morning, good morning. Wake up, good morning. It's a wonderful and beautiful day and a challenging day in the city of Palm Coast. What in the world is going on with Mayor Mike Norris? And I'm going to tell you, I've got the ones, I'm talking about the behind the scenes, the people that would know. I have Chase Russell. He's also an Air Force veteran. He's a consultant with Gray Eagle. He's the man behind the plan. He has pushed Mike Norris into the position that he is in as a political consultant. It was his handiwork that helped win that campaign. And then I also have a retired Air Force veteran. That's Michael Yates, Bronze Star, former police chief, and as also a former mayor himself. I want to say thank you guys and welcome to Today with Pastor Jay. You're not strangers of the show. You've been on the show before, but it's great to have you both together.
Yeah,
glad to be here.
Okay, so I don't even know where to start. So Chase, I'm going to start with you because I'm going to say it's your fault. It's your fault that Mike Norris is the mayor. It's your fault because as a political consultant, you're the one that did all those things that put him in office. You outmaneuvered, out-campaigned all the other people running for mayor and became victorious. So we're going to blame this on you. We're going to start with that. But so you have Gray Eagle Consulting. What do you do to vet candidates, and why did you think that Mike Norris would be a good mayor?
Yeah, so part of everything that we do at Gray Eagle is really vetting a candidate. I run campaigns all over the state. I want to make sure that the people that are in office are working for the people of Palm Coast or whatever city we're running in. When Mike came to me, he was a fantastic candidate. His background is extensive. Yes, is he tempered? Absolutely. But that's the type
tempered. That's what you call it? Tempered?
That's the type of person you need in Palm Coast. Somebody with a temper, somebody that's coming in to get stuff done. And that's what you've seen Mike do this entire time, is come in, get stuff done. And people don't like change. And that's what's happened with Mike so far.
So why do you think he stood out among the rest of the candidates for you? Because this is a small town race compared to a lot of the things that you do. Why do you think he stood out so much that you said, I got to take on Mike Norris?
He's a no BS kind of guy. He's ready to, like I said, get stuff done. We need people. People are tired of the status quo politician. They're tired of people coming across as fake. He's going to say it like it is, and that's just the type of person he is. And clearly, by his electoral number, he was ready for the job, and that the people wanted him in that spot.
Mike Yates, you were with him from the beginning.
Right.
Why? I mean, come on. He's not an easy candidate. Nope. A lot of people didn't like him, but Yates, you were there from the beginning. Come on, Chief. Why?
Well, just like Chase says, he's a no BS kind of guy, and he is for the people of Palm Coast. He sees what was happening the last two cycles with Holland and Alphen, the bloated budgets that they have pushed. I mean, since I got here in 2016, the budget has just absolutely blown up. I mean, David Alphen bought 66 new cars last year. 66, what? Budgeted for 66 brand new vehicles for the city of Palm Coast last year. And I think it was 69. 3 of them were fire engines, which were probably needed. That's fine. But, I'm sitting here driving around in a 2004 Jaguar X-Type, and I've got a 2014 Lincoln. I don't have brand new vehicles. And with maintenance being the way it is in the city of Palm Coast, if they can't maintain the vehicles, they got no right having them. I'm at the point right now where maybe we need to think about disbanding Palm Coast, giving up our charter, and just going back to Flagler County, because this city council, in my opinion, has just flat railroaded Mike from day one. And if you listen to the audio that by Councilman Gambaro that he Dave, which was I think was Dave Alphen on the mayor's phone, that just tells it all. Why would he want to consult with David Alphen? I mean, I don't get it. That makes no sense at all, and nobody has answered that question to me in any way whatsoever. I mean, it's just not a good situation. And I'm so disappointed in Teresa Pontieri. I really thought she was better than this, calling Mike a coward, who is 2 Bronze Stars to his credit. Give me a break. Coward Mike and arse.
So just recently, the Palm Coast City Council unanimously censured Mayor Mike Norris. And they're filing all these complaints have been filed with ethic committees. I mean, just a lot of stuff circulating. Chase, why? I mean, is it his personality? Is he just that abrasive that no one wants to deal with him? Why do you think that they're just continuing on? Because it seemed like ever since he got into office, it's been one thing after. Is he just a bad mayor? In fact, I had someone call him Mino, mayor in name only.
See, that's the thing, is they're going to do character assassination. When you've got somebody coming in looking to do change, and just like Mike said, you've got a budget that's out of control. You've got a city that has had zero direction. They've got westward expansion that they're doing. There's a lot of issues within the city of Palm Coast, and frankly, the residents are tired of it. Again, I go back to my original statement. You need a person like Mike that's going to come in, and they're going to be no BS, and they're going to get stuff done. And people don't want that. They want to continue the development. They want to continue to build. They want to continue the status quo of what they're doing. And the second change comes in, they don't like that. Now, is Mike going to...
But shouldn't there be a balance between how he's treating staff, his behavior towards treating staff, and his position as mayor? I mean, you've got to have some type of fortitude where you're not abusive in your behavior toward the people that are serving our community as well.
Right. And I think there's a fantastic balance between that. I think there should probably be some more training as far as the treatment of staff goes. But also when you're going to use anything you can possibly use against that person. And what you see with the investigation, that report came out, it's a lot of, he hurt my feelings. And that's understandable if your feelings
listen, you're going to file a complaint because your feelings were hurt?
Well, this is 2020.
Everybody need to file a complaint because their feelings are hurt.
No, and that's understandable. But as the mayor, you're held to a higher standard, and that's something that can be addressed with Mike. That's not an issue in any way possible. But to come in and try and get him kicked out of being mayor because he said moratorium, it's insanity. He's trying to help the residents of Palm Coast. You can see that by the comments, by the public support behind Mike. That's going to continue to grow, and it grows every single day. The public is behind Mike. They voted him in by a landslide. It was even printed in the Observer by a landslide. The people want that. What you see with Facebook, what you see with all the comments that are coming out is news report after news report, and the comment section is filled with people saying, this is what I want. You don't listen to me. Mike's the only one up there listening to me. So you've got 2 people on the council right now that nobody even voted for. Whether they're good or not, I'm not going to hit on that, but you didn't vote for them. That's not how democracy works. That's not how the city charter was supposed to work. And that's been an issue with Gambaro up there, with David Sullivan up there. You need people that are working for the people of Palm Coast, not developers, not special interests. And that's what you're seeing. And that's why there's such a changing of the tides with public opinion.
Well, you mentioned David Sullivan. I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of Dave Sullivan. Good friend of mine. I adore him. I love him. And I think he's going to bring a balance to the city council that they didn't have before. He has wisdom. He's smart. He's going to read everything, and he's going to make up his own mind. He's not going to side with anyone. I'm a little surprised that he voted to censure Mike Norris because it was a unanimous vote. But if you recall, Mike Gates, back in the day when Joe Mullen was on county commission, that vote came up again to censor someone, and Dave Sullivan did not vote to censor Joe Mullins. And what Joe was accused of saying and doing was way worse and way extreme than what Mike Norris is being accused of. What do you think the change in the balance in that was?
Well, I don't exactly know why Dave voted the way he did. I know Dave as an acquaintance, just from some brief contacts and that type of stuff, and I've always liked him, and I think he did a good job when he was on the county commission. But to me, in this particular situation, it seems to me like he just fell in line with the other 3. You're going to have personality conflicts. In fact, with Mike, he's got more attack than he does tact. and that's kind of an issue with him, with his personality. But gee whiz, if you're gonna get your feelings hurt, by something somebody says, you should at least have the courage to go and say, "Hey, Mr. Mayor, you said this and in this particular way, and that didn't sit well with me." So all this kind of stuff. It seems like to me this is kind of an orchestrated thing.
It's been in the media a lot, Mike.
Yes, it has, and the media, your radio station, WNZF, Flagler Lies, and who never has seen a conservative that they approved of, and the Observer, all of them are attacking Mike, every single one of them. And you even got the guy from Flagler Live. I mean, he took a picture of Mike in his truck talking to one of the candidates, and then made a big deal out of it. So what's the big deal?
You're not allowed, Mike. You're not allowed to talk to people by your truck anymore. And
no, you can't. I mean, it's nuts, Chase. I mean, and you did such a good job, and I appreciate you standing up for Mike now. And I'm going to stand up for Mike, and I've got a bunch of friends that are standing up for Mike on our Trump group that we text back and forth, and there's not a single one of them that's not just livid over this and the way it's been handled by the city council.
The issue you have, and to hit on what Mike said, is this orchestrated? There are complaints going back to before Mike was even in office, and those just got brought up, and it's now April. If that was that big of an issue, why was it not brought up then? Why did it wait 6-7 months now into April?
That's true.
Now that he brings up moratorium, now all of these HR complaints come up. Now you've got former council member, former Vice Mayor Ed Danko filing an ethics complaint and then leaking it out.
And that brings me to another point. What does Ed Danko have to do anything? Because the last time I checked, they wanted him out of office, and they made sure he was not voted into another position. While he was in office, no one wanted to have anything to do with him. So why are they putting so much weight behind his complaint?
Doesn't make sense to me either.
All of a sudden, he's the authority on something when no one they wanted him out of office when he was in office, if I remember correctly.
In the city of Palm Coast, we the people of Palm Coast liked him and the other fellow that was running for county commission so much that we voted other people in. So what does that tell you? And I'm going to tell you this. I think there's going to be some changes in the city council coming up. You've got 2 members that are having to run this year, and some of this stuff is not going to be forgotten by the citizens of Palm Coast. And if you can't support the mayor and what he's trying to do, we've got infrastructure problems in Palm Coast that are huge. They have let housing grow to the point that our sewage and water cannot keep up. And now I think the city manager said the other day that it's the people that's not doing their part. Well, I'm sorry that, we pay for our water, and I don't think that the people of Palm Coast are abusing anything.
We got to take a break, guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You are listening to Today with Pastor Jay.
My name is Leslie Giscombe, and I am with the African American Entrepreneurs Association, and we are delighted to be a sponsor of Today with Pastor Jay. We have a free nationwide business directory listing. You can pick that up on aaeassociation.org. Our 800 number is 1-800-671-1397.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Today with Pastor Jay, and we're talking about Mayor Mike Norris. He's been censored by the city of Palm Coast, the council people on the city of Palm Coast. This is the craziest thing ever, what's going on, and there's been so much pushback. Mike H., you talked about WNZF. I got to give a shout out because I'm on WNZF. So
I know.
I have the best show, and I would like to believe that I'm on a station that support facts. I would hope and pray that I do. So let's talk about the facts of people opinions, because they are very strong. I've been looking at some of the comments about the censure of Mike Norris, and people love him. When I tell you there are more people for him than they are against him, the comments are incredible and they are amazing. And they're coming out in droves. They're going to the city council meetings. They're messaging. They're doing all of that. In fact, here's one right here. They said that one person said a city council, along with the local media and former administration, are running a coup to remove a duly elected mayor. I believe treason is the proper term. They're just calling them out, and they believe it. It says voters voted. We stand with Norris. You don't get to overthrow what the people voted for. Idiots. I stand behind Mike Norris. The city is corrupt, and Mike is trying to expose them. These are all the comments that are going on.
The issue is here, Pastor Jay, the issue is that the media wants to report what the media wants to report. And now you're seeing, I said it before, you're seeing a changing of the tides. The people voted Mike in. He's duly elected to do a job. It was a mandate to get in and fix Palm Coast. The people are tired of spending too much. They're tired of their water not working the next hurricane that comes through. They're tired of their flooding in their yards. And what you have right now is a mayor that's coming in, he's standing with the people. And he's not just saying he's standing with the people. He's actually doing what it takes at great cost. I talk to Mike quite frequently. His family's taking a hit. He's constantly has multiple press articles about him. He's getting pictures taken of him outside of while he's sitting by his own truck. That's not fun for him. And the job doesn't pay. I'll be honest with you, the job doesn't pay enough to deal with that. So Mike is, and he's even offering $5,000 of the salary up to kids to get a scholarship. So he's not there for the money. He's not there for anything else besides to help the people of Palm Coast. And when you can't be bought, they don't like that. And that's why he's going to continue to get hit and hit and hit. And that's why you see that public perception changing, because people can see genuineness when it's actually true.
When he mentioned a moratorium on the building, the people went, not people, but companies went wild.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you notice that the news went out and did an entire spiel on the truck or the construction workers and all them coming out, from a marketing perspective, not a very good job at it, to be entirely honest with you, because the people that they were interviewing didn't have any idea what they were talking about and cut them off halfway through. But again, that goes back to the genuineness. People can tell when you're not being genuine with them, and people are tired of that. You see this across the state of Florida. You see this across the country. People want genuine. They want people that are going to get a job done. And with Mike, that's what they're getting at a very local level.
And Pastor Jay, too, let me just mention that the city council recently just voted in a 38% increase in our utility rates, water rates, to pay for the expansion that they've neglected in the past. Now, who pays for that? The homeowners primarily pay for that. And so when you have homeowners, and a lot of us are on fixed income, I'm one of them. When you have homeowners that are seeing a 38% increase in their utility bills over the next few years, I mean, that bites. That bites hard on people's income and what they can do and what they cannot do. It's been said that taxes, I'm going to kind of paraphrase, but government money is nobody's money, because it's like Milton Friedman's 4 phases of economics. They're spending other people's money on stuff that they don't even know what it is and don't care about the quality or the cost. So, I would advise everybody to look at Milton's 4 ways of spending money, and you get a real clue real quick on what's right and what's not right. And we're in phase 4 in Palm Coast right now, number 4 for Milton Friedman.
Okay, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere, guys. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today's Pastor.
Hey, this is James Bellino, pastor of Church on the Rock, and I want to personally invite you to our services on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Our church is located at Route 1 in Bunnell, and we offer a service that seeks the Holy Spirit to be led and guided in the kingdom of God's people coming together to be trained and equipped, and then to be sent out into the community. Christ said to make disciples, to go throughout the earth, and that's our call, and that's our belief at Church on the Rock. Visit our website at churchontherockpc.com.
Immediately following Today with Pastor Jay at 8:30 a.m., You'll go from hearing me on a talk show to hearing me in my church service. Join me, Geraldine Ministries Reverse Church, by dialing in 904-701-7177. Listen, you don't have to get up to go to church now. You can just call in 904-701-7177. Dial in and listen to the Word of God today.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I want to give a thank you and a shout out to Church on the Rock. Thank you so very much for sponsoring Today with Pastor Jay. So I found this comment on social media. It was in reference to one of the other posts and articles where, of course, they're slandering Mike Norris from your perspective. And I want to read it to you, and I want to get your perspective. We only have a few minutes left. It says, have you heard, and this is from Smith Archibald. Do any of you know him? Y'all don't know him?
No.
Oh,
Nope.
Okay. He goes, have you heard the good news? Mike is our mayor. And not just any mayor. He's the kind of mayor who turns City Hall into an escape room, and you're not invited. He leads with the grace of a raccoon in a dumpster fire. He's not here to listen. He's here to dominate the energy in every hallway like a toddler armed with a megaphone and a vendetta. Lies to your face, ? It's called leadership mystique. Screams in public, that's passion projection. Refuses to meet with staff. He's too busy receiving visions from the Lord to strike down wickedness. Anyone who says he's violated the charter. He doesn't attend meetings. He disrupts them. And guess what? I don't care. It will be an honor for Mike to do any of those things to me. The next time I see him, I hope he screams garbage into my face and then slaps my latte out of my hand, because I believe in Mike. And if you don't like it, move. Move to a town where the mayor doesn't lie about emptying his office or count to one with his middle finger. Move to a place where public service isn't just a one-man experimental theater piece about power and unchecked ego. But I'll be here in the chaos, in the noise, holding a homemade #Mike did nothing wrong sign, wearing a bedazzled trash bag cape, waiting for him to notice me long enough to ban me personally, because I don't just support him, I ascend through him. I believe in Mike.
Here's the thing with a lot of that. So if Mike's not meeting with, he's not meeting at City Hall, how did Pierre get a picture of him standing outside City Hall? One. Two, how did all these HR complaints if he's not sitting at City Hall? And he had a dentist appointment at the meeting the other day. I mean, that's pretty clear, but the media is not going to publish any of that. They could have called Mike. They could have asked where he was at. He had a dentist appointment. So, yeah, sure, as much as you want to spin any story that you can possibly have.
But they are standing with him. I stand with Mike Norris. I stand with Norris. Norris is a good guy. I stand with Norris. Mike was the only council member to bring up that the city building inspectors were caught time stealing and not working when they should have been. Something I'm sure all the others wanted to sweep under the rug. The city council needs to listen to the city residents. We voted for him for a reason. Maybe the council members are next in the upcoming elections. I'm praying for our mayor to have victory over evil attacks. I mean, over and over. They want him out because he's not corrupt like them. We voted him in for a reason. Duly elected versus appointed bureaucrats. Let's put votes behind your censor. I mean, I'm not skipping comments. I'm just going over and over. This is what happens when you try to drain the swamp. Keep fighting Mayor Mike.
I love that you see the resemblance between mean tweets, which is Mike telling people something that they didn't like or saying something that they didn't like, versus actually getting stuff done. And again, we're at a point in America, we're at a point in the state where we're tired. We don't care if there's mean tweets. We care about getting a job done. We care about working for the people. And again, that's what Mike's here to do. If he hurts your feelings in the process, I'm sorry, but wear a helmet.
Yates,
Really?
what do you think? I mean, because they love him. I mean, I'm just going person after person. They're saying, look, instead of everybody arguing, let's vote out the councilman and leave Mike in. They want Mike Norris.
That's exactly right. We want Mike. We support Mike. And we'd like to see the city council get behind some of this stuff instead of fighting every step of the way. You know, this guy Gambaro was voted in by the previous council, and two of those guys are gone when rightfully it should have been an election. We had an election coming up, so there should have been an election for that particular council seat, bar none. Period. End of story. You know, so that you want to talk about a violation of the charter. I think that's a violation of the charter right there.
Wow. We do have one comment from Stephen Swarner. He said, Palm Coast politics is a disgrace.
Agreed.
This is crazy. And I don't know. Is it going to get any better? I mean, what do you think, Chase? You think it's going to get any better? The people obviously want Mike Norris as a mayor. They voted him in by a huge amount. They're standing behind him now.
I think you're going to see the more he gets attacked by the media, the more the establishment shows themselves. He's going to continue to gain that public perception. What they don't realize is that there's going to be another election, and they're just helping Mike with that. Now, whether you can get stuff done is really dependent on the city council.
That's the other thing. Is he going to be? He's one vote. He may be the mayor, but he's one vote.
Well, you see that in the moratorium, Pastor Jay. Mike brought up the moratorium. He was immediately shut down, and then all this stuff started really going into high gear about censoring and investigating him and all that kind of stuff. And you can't convince me that there's not some sort of collusion going on between some of the council members and some of the people in City Hall that work for the city of Palm Coast. You just cannot convince me of that, because that's the appearance, in my opinion.
When you've got an investigation report that titles 2 developers and a former vice mayor that has no firsthand knowledge of any of this, from Mike's perspective, I'd consider that a win for the people.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for sharing your opinions. I mean, this is a lot. And the people of Palm Coast are standing behind their mayor. So thank you. All right, guys, you know what I say? Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Engage. Support your mayor if that's what you want to do. I haven't seen anybody speak out about him, but everybody's supporting him. But show up in person. Go to the city council meetings and show up in person. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.